Welcome to the overview of 3 main business scenarios that Replicator addresses. Use this information as a guide, but I'm sure there are adjustments that can be made for different prospects. Here are the 3 main scenarios that Replicator supports: geographically distributed farms, continuity of operations and disaster recovery, and intranet and extranet. Now we'll go into a little bit more detail. Leading with the core of Replicator's success to date, the largest business scenario that Replicator covers are organizations with geographically distributed farms. Users expect a level of responsiveness from their collaboration environment equivalent to commercially available products. Whether in a large organization with several globally distributed headquarters to a collective of individual consultants who work across multiple U.S. states, or European countries, without having a SharePoint server nearby, and especially if they're in a location that has connectivity issues, the level of responsiveness is hard to meet. By replicating to environments that are close to the end user, Replicator meets these expectations while simultaneously providing advanced features to ensure collaboration can be seamless across the disparate locations. This scenario may sound technical, but let's take a step back and ask a simple question. Do you have a distributed user base? Yes, the good news is that this question applies to the largest companies in the world, but it also applies to organizations during and after mergers and acquisitions, energy workers in remote locations and oil rigs, and certainly to the military. This gives you a broad base of customers to work with. A key pain point, again, which is shared across large and small organizations, is the performance lag that users experience if they're not close to a central collaboration environment. This results in a loss of productivity for those end users and maybe puts the organization at risk because those same users start using non-sanctioned modes of collaboration to store important company documents. So with Replicator, IT doesn't have to worry about where people are or how many farms there are, but all of the content can be synchronized, giving all the staff the most up-to-date information that's needed. We live in a digital age, and no longer is it acceptable not to be connected to your business-critical and even draft content. Organizations spend a lot of time planning, organizing, and building infrastructure to ensure that content is available not only internally, but during planned and unplanned outages. A typical scenario is to build 2 identical SharePoint farms and copy content from the production farm over to the disaster recovery one. There are many ways to do this, but none is as fast as content replication. You can move all or select a subset of content to always be available in your secondary environment. Notice I didn't use disaster recovery. This is what's called a warm situation. The secondary environment is always available and the content is up to date. If you've uncovered the criticality of the prospect's SharePoint environment, then just ask, with all the time and effort you've put into SharePoint, what's the impact if you cannot access this content? Here we have the solution. You can easily turn that monetary return on investment into a small investment into Replicator, and now you have a continuity of operations. Here's a little bit of a niche scenario, but one that I'm confident can go far. In my days as a SharePoint consultant, we were working on a lot of external communications, sharing content, business information, and even applications between an organization's customers, partners, and/or vendors. There are many ways to set up an extranet, and being able to selectively choose content allows our prospects the ability to choose from a wide variety of authentication, security, and infrastructure options. If your prospect doesn't mention intranet and extranet explicitly, then you can ask, so you're working hard on this internal content. I know at Metalogix we share marketing materials with our partners. Do you ever need to provide access to content outside of your environment to your partners or customers? Okay, that's more of an idea than one specific question, but with Replicator, an organization can select specific content and have it synchronized to a collaboration environment that is available for those external users, creating a higher level of security of that content outside, instead of only using email. In summary, Replicator provides value to organizations that need to ensure that their end users have the right content all the time. Whether setting up multiple dispersed farms that synchronize a full set of content, or selecting specific content to be shared on an extranet, Replicator can meet the end user's expectation of speed and responsiveness that they have come to expect in a collaboration environment.